I'm Jodie Johnson and welcome to Tonic Studios. Oh, what a dream. We have got the Twirling Teacups. It is beautiful. You've got all the dies in there to make these gorgeous designs, whether it's the swing or whether it's the Twirling Teacups, the choices are yours. Welcome to the Twirling Teacups. Now, what I want you to think of as 4 stages, okay? So 1 being the base, 2 being this section here, 3 being the cups, and 4 being the roof, okay? As long as you think them in 4 different categories, then you're going to be fine, okay? Now, let's face it, this is going to be a project, okay? It's not a 2-minute job. It is a project, yeah, and it's something that you can get your fingers in here, really play with, okay? So let's start with that first section, okay? So the first section is using these dies here, first of all, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to stick 6 of those together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But if you can work fast, sticking those ones together, because you still want the movability to squeeze that last one in and just manipulate the shape so that they all go together, okay? So that's 6 of them put together, but what you're going to do is you're going to do a second one, a third one, and a 4th one, okay? So let's put all those to one side, because the next stage we're going to do is stage 2, being this section here, okay? So on that one, we're going to do virtually the same, 6 of those. Oops, lost my glasses off my face then. So let's put 1 onto there. Next one onto there. And you're just working your way around. Remember, try and do this pretty fast so that your glue doesn't dry, so you've still got that bit of wiggle time to get that last one in and manipulate that so that it's actually perfectly shaped. Okay, so stick that last one in there, and then we're just going to manipulate this until it all matches up. So once again, you're going to do it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Okay, so let's go back to that first one now. So as you'll note that each one of stage 1 and stage 2 does have a lip. Okay, so it's like a box within a box sort of thing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this die here, 6 of those, just put your thumbnail on that centre score line, give it a bit of a wiggle, and then just give it a curl so that it curls up. Okay, go through, bend all those little tabs all the way down there. And now I like to stick these in as individual pieces. Okay, I find I have more control. So I'm going to start with this one at this end. I want to flip that over so I'm on the wrong side, and I'm now going to come in and I'm going to get that peak right into that little area there, and I'm going to start to stick. Now this is the time you need to love your glue. Okay, just give it a little bit of time, have a little bit of patience with it, working your way round. Let's just pick that one up. Excuse me.
Bless you.
That came out of nowhere. Onto that one there. Now, before you stick that one in, bring your next one in and just attach that into situ. Okay, so it's in its right place, and get that right in the groove. So we've now got that one in. So as I say, just work your way around, taking your time, just having a little bit of patience. Maybe if if you've got that magnetic platform that we've got, yeah, that's got the magnets, you could have this on the magnetic platform and put your magnets on the top, and that would hold all these little segments in. Yeah, it's a really good piece of kit for holding things in that you want held in place. So let's just go through that again. I'm going to get my little glue tab in. Come on, in you go, sweetie. Does help if you talk to things as well. Working our way around and making sure that we're right into that little peak. The peaks are important, yeah, because if your peak's in the right place, everything else is just going to follow suit, yeah. So just go all the way through there. We're just going to hold that
being
for a minute.
kind to our glue.
Yeah, loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a bit of TLC.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the only TLC that I do give me craft products. You know what I'm like. So let's just bend that one again. Let's come in and put the adhesive on that one. Once again, get your glue tab in, right into the peak, using that peak so you've got your spacers, correct? And just go all the way around, grabbing all of them, keep that peak nice and tight. Just hold that into there. I'm just going to close that one off, so that's all closed as well. Just hold that all the way around. I mean, it is going to take a little bit of time to put this together, guys, you know, but the end result is amazeballs. It really, really is. It's one of those projects that you start and you get halfway through and you think, how many cuts have I done? And then you get to the end and you think, do you know what? That's why. It was worth it. It was really, really worth it. So just hold that for a little longer. So now I'm going to come in with the next one. So stick all my adhesive on those. Not on those ones, Jodie, because I need my glue tab for that side, don't I? So I'll just leave that one for a minute. Let's just come back in on that side. Let's put my glue onto my little tab as well. So once again, I want to start at the peak, get my peak all the way in. So that's all in situ, and then just hook that one back over there and then bring it all the way around the side. This literally is a solid box by the time you've finished, because you're literally going to put a tier on the top and then you're going to reinforce it with another set of tiers, yeah, because let's face it, by the time you've got chocolate in that in here, your base is going to want to be solid. You don't want a floppy middle, because otherwise with weight on it, it's going to give way, yeah. So by putting all these different layers on, it's going to reinforce the actual strength of the box, yeah. So next one.
Yeah, Darcy had a lot of extra bits that she added into this to make sure that it was very structurally sound.
Yeah, well, it needs to be, doesn't it? By the time you've got chocolates and everything in, it's so once again, in with the peak, get that side in, hook your tab over, peak all the way in, all the way around there, get those sides in, hold them into situ, fold that glue tab back over its friend and just hold that. Now weight of card, 240 GSM. Yeah, I've tried it with a 300, but you don't get the nice curve on the actual sides, and 216 is not really substantial enough for this. Matching and layering, great, yeah. Maybe you want to put your top tier on with your craft perfect, but these bottom tiers I would stick with a 240 GSM, yeah. It just gives it more stability, yeah. So now this one, let's come in and do that one. We just take that glue off there that I put on the wrong glue tab, look. Just take that off before it all sticks all over my fingers. And come in and do that one now on my glue tab. Into the widow's peak, and then all the way around. Get that glue tab in. Whoops. Fold back over, sweetie. Play nicely for Jodie. There we go.
It does help if you talk nicely to them, I think.
Oh, it does. It does. It really helps. It keeps you sane as well.
Sane? What's this?
Insanity in the craft world, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So get that little tab into there. Just push that one in a little bit more. It's just come out there. I'm going to put my glue on that tab that was right at the beginning and fold that one over. Now what I do at this stage is I leave this. Okay, I leave these little tabs to actually stick down. Okay, now before I go on to the next stage, all we're going to do is we're going to put the internal tabs in. Okay, so this section here, obviously you need a support bar, yeah, and that's where this die comes in. Now this is a die that you're going to use in two different ways. Okay, in this instance, what you're going to do is you're going to come in, you're going to bend on all those long sides, like so. Just carry on going through. Ignore the score lines on the middle at the minute, okay? You don't need those score lines on the middle. They're for a later stage. So just come through, bend all those, and what you're going to do is you're going to glue these onto this inner lip here. Okay, now you're going to glue them so that the tab, you see how it comes over, my glue tab is there. Okay, if you glue it the other way round, then these will be a little bit too long and you'll need to trim them. But this is how I'm being a good girl today, and I'm actually doing it how the instructions say at this stage. I'll do it differently in a bit. So bringing that one into there, working all the way around here. Remember, we're only doing stage one at the moment. Yeah, this is stage one. We will be going on to stage two in just a minute, but try and get into the habit of letting it dry bit by bit, especially if you're using your wet adhesive, because if it's not stuck, then obviously bits are going to pop apart and you'll get agitated, and we don't want that. So that one onto there, and then the next one is going to go into there. Oops. So that's the last one in. So at this stage, push it to one side, let it dry. Okay, so just flop that into the middle, and let's bring one of the stage two. So stage two, remember, is this section here. Okay, so similar sort of principle. Okay, you're going to take 6 of these dies, you're going to give it a curl, just break those fibres down. You're then going to just bend all these little glue tabs, And we're going to start to stick these round. I'm going to flop that over so I'm on the wrong side again. And I'm going to come in. And this time we're going to come in and we're going to do exactly the same, right down to the peak. Get it right in to that peak and just follow it all the way around. Okay, so just work it all the way around. You can see little holes in this die as well. There's little holes in here. They will come into play later on. Whether you use them is entirely up to you, because there's two ways of having these teacups. You can have these teacups so that they actually spin or hang, and that's down to your own personal preference. Yeah, but the holes are there if you're wanting to put brads in, because in the bottom of the teacup there's a hole as well, so you can put a brad through the teacup into this tier and then the cups will spin. Okay, so just carry on. A little diddly bit onto there. Just give that a cheeky twist. Hook it underneath all of those. And just bring that section into there. Once you've done once, you're going to be in the flow. Okay, and just hold it, love it, caress it, talk to it, and you'll be absolutely fine. So that's that one. Coming round to the next one, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think this is the hardest bit, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and it literally is rinse and repeat. So as I say, once you've done one, you'll be in the throw of it with no problem whatsoever. But it's easy. It is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It really is.
And because it is so repeaty, you know, if this is a piece that you want to practice on some scrap card,
Yeah.
to get your curves right, to get your angles right and everything, it's something that you can do.
Yeah.
Before you start your real construction.
Absolutely. And because the pieces are relatively small, when you're cutting your cardstock, when I was cutting all this out, don't just cut like 6 of them on one sheet. Work in the other dies in the gaps between, yeah? So you're not using as much card then. So just coming all the way around. I should have really counted how many sheets of card it took, and I didn't.
Was just thinking the same. I'm sure. I don't know if Karen did keep a track. I'll double check with her and see if she kept a track of how many it took.
But because you're decorating this, and you're putting panels and everything on there, then really your base card can be anything, can't it? It can be the most horrendous colours you've ever met in your entire life. For me, it'd be cerise pink. Yeah.
None taken.
It's just one of those colours that made me go, ugh, and especially when it's with lime green. Oh! But you're putting panels on, yeah? So this base, you're not really going to see so much of this, because you're going to have another tier on the top, another tier on the bottom, plus all your panels around the edge. So it could be a way of getting rid of all that yucky card that you've got that you don't particularly like. So next one. Have you always been a pink girl?
Yes, pretty much.
Oh, I don't know what it is about pink. It just makes me. I think it's because I was brought up as a tomboy.
Yeah, I kind of went through a tomboy phase where, you know, I liked pink, but, you know, I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to be thought of as like a girly girl. But now I embrace my girly girl now. Yeah,
I think it's because I was brought up with diesel oil and everything covered in, So pink never really went with diesel.
No.
So let's bring in that side panel there. And then we're just going to close that one off as well. So instantly, we're going to let this dry, but we're going to do this interior bit here. Now, it's exactly the same as the other one that we did. We're going to use exactly the same die as we did before, but this time you're going to do a bit of snipperoo, and that's where these score lines come in, okay? Because what you're going to do is you're going to come in and you're going to chop that middle segment out. You only need that middle bar. Okay, so we've got that middle. Now this is where I differ, okay? I know it's going to annoy, but I put a little chamfer on these, okay? I just come in and I just
see those pinging up out the corner.
I just come in and I just put a little chamfer on those corners there, because this one I actually like to put the other way round.
She's gone rogue, everyone.
I have gone rogue, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Alright, so now I put mine that way round. On the instructions it tells you to go the other way. Alright, and I'll tell you exactly why, because I've done something with my one, and with my one I needed that centre pillar to be 100%. Well, it's not that it's not secured in, but I wanted it to be secured in even more, and I'll explain why as we go along. Okay, so next one, just holding and securing. So we've really done the same thing on both of those tiers, haven't we? Large one at the bottom, medium one at the top. We've done exactly the same thing. Okay, so the large one and the small one, exactly the same so far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the top and stick the top onto here. Okay, now at this stage what I want you to do, I want you to bend these into the middle. Get them out the way so they're not in your way. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one of those scallops first of all, and I'm going to get that so that it sits perfectly onto one of those little scallops. Okay, now once again, that magnetic platform would be brilliant, yeah, because you could actually magnet those down. We're just going to hold that one section there to begin with. Now as long as one section is in its perfect positioning, obviously everything else has to follow suit. So now we're going to come round, and I'm just tickling those little bits with some glue and working that section. Work your peak, get your peak in there, hold your peak for a moment until all that is nice and steady into those little spaces. Push my little peak into there, so that's in line, so that's it in there. And now literally I'm holding and I'm gluing at the same time. So hold one, get your peak in, push that one down. You see, once you get going, it's just a running motion, holding and sticking. Let's just get that one under there. into the peak, into the peak, and squash. So just get that right up to the edge. So while I'm holding that one now, I can come in. Once you've started, you can pick up speed. Yeah. So now this one, let's get all those under there, into the peak. Get that peak into situ, and then we can hold that one while we align this one. Just lift that up so that I can get that tab. Come on, get under there, sweetie, thank you. Work your way around, get that peak in, hold that, come in, and I can be putting my glue on that one so it can start to be going off into the peak and go all the way around there. Just hold that for a little longer on that peak, it's not quite stuck.
This is where you need to grow like 4 more hands.
It is, absolutely it is, yeah. But I think once you've done one, you're absolutely fine, because what do they call it, muscle memory? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just seem to go into automatic pilot mode.
And of course, if you're doing this at home, you can take a lot longer than we do when we're doing it on camera.
Absolutely, that's why I've got quite a few bits already stuck together.
This is a good project, I think, to have like a nice film on in the background, or watch some other people's crafty YouTube videos, something like that. Yeah.
I can't watch crafty videos when I'm crafting though, because it makes me stop and watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But a good old Netflix or other streaming services are available, just not in my house. Yeah, because when I'm crafting at home, I have the easels in front of me, the Tonic easel, and I have my tablet on there, so that I can actually watch on my iPad and craft at the same time. So while I'm holding that like that, I'm like watching a film.
Mine's very similar. So I've got one of our luxury storage trays.
Yeah.
Quite close to my glass mat, and so my tablet sits between the two.
Yeah.
Propped up quite nicely. Yeah.
So now I'm putting the glue on all those little glue tabs all the way around there, and now these slot underneath here. Now if you flop it over, okay, you can see how far it needs to go in so that it's actually level. Okay, so literally take it slowly until you can see the card below, and just anchor it down. Okay, on to the next one. Slowly hold it. Slowly anchor it. Same again, just working round. It's rinse and repeat. That one onto there, and the last one gonna go into there. Let's just pull that out a little bit. There we go. Press it down, and now you've got all those internal supports on that inside. Okay, this is where your other two come in now. So this is going to come and sandwich onto the top of here, and that's going to cover up your glue tabs. So let's go around this, add all these little bits.
It's adding another layer of strength as well.
It is.
You're multiplying your GSM at this point.
Yeah, and this is why I say you can use that really card that you don't particularly like, because you're really hiding a lot of it. So if you don't like me, pink, that could be pink. This could be, I don't know, beautiful lilac or whatever else. At this stage, you're covering it up. So that's one tier there. And I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to put the other one onto the side. So let's bring this one in. So now that really is a sturdy base for you to work on, okay? Try and get your adhesive as close to the edge as humanly possible, okay? I'm rushing this, but if you take your glue right up to the very edge and stick this down, then it's going to look like one continuous piece of card.
That's it, the last thing you want is the edge kind of flapping up or
That's
coming
right.
loose.
So that there is going to be your base. And what a nice base or picture frame that this could be, okay? In my opinion, it would make a beautiful shaker, yeah? So where that internal is, if you glue your acetate onto one of those lips, you could then fill that with all your shaker bits and then put a base back on the back and you'd have a shaker frame then. Yeah, it'd be beautiful. So that's that one. So same principle applies now, okay? As I say, it's a rinse and repeat. So now we're going to come in and we're going to do this one. So start with 1 point, push all those tabs to the inside edge again. Start at a peak. I think that is the hardest bit, to get your first one in line. But once you've got that first one in line, everything has to follow suit. So just hold it, love it, take care of it, like so. And then while I'm holding that one, I can come and sit that one into place. Come on, stay in there, sweetie. That's it. Just working that all the way around. But this really is solid, it is. Now, when we're doing this one, we're going to do this one right up to the same stage minus 1 tier, okay? Because the 1 tier is going to be important because we need that to hide our centre column. So let's get that one in. Right up to there. Just give it a little bit of TLC in there, sweetie. Now, as you're doing this, if your edges are not perfect, don't worry, okay? Because you've got a fascia that goes on, okay? So if you're doing this, you think, oh, I can see that, like there's a little gap there. I can see where glue tab's not quite fit. You've got a fascia board that goes on as well, okay? So you're not going to see any of those little spaces. So next one, all the way in. Come on, on do you go. That's it. So let's just hold that one as well. Just slide it in. Come on, stay where I want you to be. Thank you. So I'll just hold that. I mean, really, you could put that fascia on the bottom one as well. I've not put it on the bottom one, but you could put that fascia on your bottom tier as well. Remember, we're working on the second tier. We've already done the first tier. This is your next tier. So just slide that baby into there and onto the top. Let's put the glue on this side as well, so that I can squash all those glue tabs in there together. Look. On. In. There you go. So let's just curvature that into there. That's perfect. Just persuade it. There you go. It's just a case of manipulating the cardstock a little bit, yeah? So let's hold that one. Let's keep that into there. And then that one is going to go into there. Now if you have problems with your fingers, okay, if you take your offcut of cardstock from where you've cut that V, yeah, you're going to have a lot of little contours in your waste card. If you glue those all together, so you've got like a convexed, then you can use that as a shaping tool to hold all these edges in, because it will fit into the same space. All right, so let's just hold that there and then push that one back. Come on, stay where I want you to be. Thank you. Now I'm not bothered about these little edges that are not quite in, because we're going to have that fascia on there. You're not going to see those little edges. Okay, so just squish that in. So now center. So glue and push it under. And these are going to support this whole box. Okay. Should have bent my tabs first before I put it in. What a rookie mistake. Trying to bend them and hold them and... Come.
You're showing us how to overcome any difficulty, Jodie. It's very good.
Absolutely. I tell you, it's a skill, talking, sticking, thinking at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And men say we can't multitask, eh, girls?
What do they know?
So let's bring that one in. Let's just hold that for just a second longer. Let's bring that one in. Just like slide him in.
And with this piece, of course, if there's one side that is nicer than the other, you just make that the top and the
Absolutely.
not nice one the bottom, and it's never going to be seen.
Absolutely. Let's bend that one and place that one underneath. So you decide which way round now this is going to go. Let me just hold that. So that one there, we need to put the base onto there. Now I want that as my top. Okay, so I'm going to flip that over and I'm going to put this extra one on the bottom. So all the way around here, and that's going to slide onto there. And this is where it changes. This is where we change the way that we do things. Okay, we don't stick that one on there yet. Okay, so let's put that to one side. Let's bring in now, we're now going to do the roof and that middle bar in the middle. Okay, so these here are your middle bars. You're going to need 6 of them. Okay, now before I stick them together, I take a ruler and I mark down by 1 inch, and I just put a pencil line 1 inch down. Okay, now that's going to give me my brackets to go on if I want it to swing. If I want it so that it turns, I don't need these. But if I want to put the swingy ones on, if I hold it up, can you see underneath? Can you see the brackets on the underside here? That's what holds the swings up. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to bend all my score lines to begin with. So all the way down there, all the way down this side as well. So if I was doing this at home, I would be putting my decorative panel on here before I went any further, okay? Because once you start to put other bits together at this stage, it's very difficult to get into that centre column to be able to put your panel on, okay? So whatever colour panel you're putting in the middle, put it in now. So let's bend those ones. So 6 of those babies. Like so. So I've got 6 of those, so let's stick those together. So all the way down, make sure that everything is aligned up. So I do like to do these in pairs. So that's one pair. And the reason I do it in pairs is so that one section can be drying while I'm putting the other ones together. Because otherwise, if you try and do them in one big long continuation, when you come to pick it up, it tends to just snap apart. So do it in 2 stages. I'll just get rid of that glue off of there. Let's put that onto there as well. So that's going to go onto there. So let's just hold that. So think about this now, okay? You've put your decorative panel on those. So they've got, I don't know, metallic card, die cut in the middle, because there's a pattern die to go in there as well. You know, you decide your decor for that set centre. So we're now going to join all these together. Just hold that one a little longer. So that into there. So now I take these. Okay, should have got a craft pig. Can I see a craft pig?
There should be one.
Let me. There we go. No, that's a knife. Craft knife. Let me have a scout. Oh, hello, craft pig. So this is now where I put these in. Okay. So all I do is I use that inch line and I centralise them onto that bracket. Okay. So just come in, stick them onto there. Now, at home, I would be putting my ribbon on this section now as well. So what I did at home was I actually took from the bottom of that panel there to where I wanted the cup to be, and I times it by 3. Okay, and then I put my ribbon, no cups on, put my ribbon through the middle. So my ribbon was already in for when I wanted to hang my cups. Okay, but just take the length and times it by 3 and you'll be absolutely fine. So, whoops. Let's take that one off there. I'm just centralising these into all these spaces, okay? Using that inch line that I've put on there to just make sure that all those are in position. Now at home I would be using wet glue for that as well, but because that would take a little bit more time to dry, I've just chosen to do that with high tack. So let's bring this whole thing together now.
It looks like a Dalek now.
It does, it does. Let me just bend me uprights down. And we're just going to bring that into there and into there. So now I'm just going to hold that. Now at home I'd have a ruler and I'd be putting a ruler down that centre score line to hold it shut. Okay, but that's going to be my centre. I'm going to leave it to dry. It looks a bit funny, doesn't it? So let's make one of the teacups. Centre die with the hole in, and then you're going to need 6 of these. Just go through, bending all your score lines on these. Now this is where you need to decide whether you are having a hanging teacup or a twirly. Okay, because if you are going to do a twirly one, that's where your brad goes through. Okay, if you are doing a hanging one, you're just going to cover that hole up. Okay, so bending all of those. We're going to start on that centre, and yes, I know I've got a white one. I was a panel missing when I looked at it earlier, so we've ended up with a white one. So we're just going to place these all underneath, working our way around. One onto there. Next one is going to go into there, and then the next one is going to go into there. So once again, we're going to leave that to dry. So push it out of the way and leave it to dry, and you're going to repeat that 6 times. Okay, let's move on to the roof. The roof is these panels here. You're going to need 6 of these again. So we're going to bend down on all our score lines, including that one at the bottom there. So this is going to be your roof. That one. And then there. And you can really see all your different bits coming together now. Yeah, I can see the bases, I can see the teacups, I can see that centre panel. Yeah, you can really start to see all those pieces of card, flat pieces of card, changing into the most 3-dimensional amazing project. So that onto there. And then that as well. So now we're going to stick these together. So on your glue tab, concentrate on this long one first of all. Okay. And you're going to bring all those together. Working your way down and around, making sure that the peaks are all together at the very top. Okay, so, next one. Working around there, and then here, like so. Last one is going to go into here. Oops, let's bring you back, you slipped. Last one is going to go right into there. Just hold that one for a minute. So while that's drying, I want to come back to my teacup and I want to start to stick my little teacup to pieces. So bringing in all those little glue tabs. If you glue the long section, the bottom section automatically finds its own home. Okay, so bring that one into there. And then here. Do you know what, Leo? I think you're trying to tell me I'm on holiday. I've got a radiator down here and it's so blooming hot. My legs feel like they're in the Bahamas.
I didn't realise it was still on. There should be 2 switches on there, just flick it off.
God, blimey me. Honestly, it's like, whoa. So that side there. Gonna come into here.
I mean, you did say you wanted to get away, so...
Oh, darling. I can feel the beach. Nice mojito.
Pina colada for me.
So then, typical Blue Peter style, you've got 6. Okay. Now, if you are doing the hanging one, you need to cut these little...
Do you want to bring it forward onto here? There we go.
You're going to need to cut these little hooks. Okay. And you're going to need to put those hooks onto your teacups because you can see that's what hangs the rope. Okay. But if you are doing turny ones, this is where this now comes into play, because you would take your brad and you would put your brad straight through the centre of that, line it up at the bottom, flip it over and split the legs. Okay. And that's what would allow your teacup to turn. All right, let's put those to one side, bringing the roof back in. So now this is all going to come around and meet its friend. So let's just stick that one into there. Just hold it for a minute. Once that side has started to take, we can then come in and start doing all these wee little side panels. Okay. So let's bring those in. Bring that one into there. Just come back undone. I felt it pop over.
You were not kind to your glue.
I was not kind to it. I didn't give it enough love. So let's hold those 2 a minute. Come round to the next one. And let's love that one a little bit. Next one. And then the last one, like so. So we've now got what essentially is the pitch to the merry-go-round, the twisting cups. Well, they're not called twisting cups, are they? Wunderhung. What are they called?
Oh, it's like one of those swings, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
can't remember what they're called. Right, so we're going to put on now its actual fascias. Okay, so you're going to need 6 of its fascias. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the other 6 we're going to twist. Like so. So we've got a little convex, but you're just breaking the fibres down a little bit. Like so. Okay, so let's start with the straight ones. The straight ones are going to go around my roof. So what you're going to do is you're literally going to come down just on that little edge. Okay, now what I did, I put my pattern panel on first, and that gave me the spacing that I needed to do this. Okay, so you're not having to guess how far down it comes. You're going to put your pattern panel on there, and it will give you the correct spacing. But because we're only going to do a blank one here, we're not decorating this, we're just doing a blank one, then you're going to get the idea. Okay, so now that is just going to come and sit right onto the very edge of there. Okay, working my way around, sliding that behind its friend, working on that very edge. I mean, I can literally see the cardstock underneath, so I can see how far down I've actually gone. I can see whether I'm lopsided. That's going to go onto there. Let's pick it up, slide it in, get that one onto there, hook that one into there. That's a bit lopsided, Johnson. Straighten that up.
As Mammy Ali would say, make sure you're straight now.
Onto there. Get it nice onto there. Get that glue tab into that one there. Next one. So you can really see how this does start to come together rather fast. At first you think it's taking ages, but once you've got your components, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 done, then it does come together quite fast, yeah, because it literally is a case of then sticking those 4 different categories together. Okay, it's a nice project, you know, where you can start and you can leave it and come back to it. So last edge there, get that one in there level. So that there is going to be the top of that carousel. Let's put that to one side. So let's bring in the base again. So this is your base that we did originally. This is your next tier, and that is going to come and sit onto there. All right, so you're going to glue that onto there, unless you want to do something that I'm going to show you later. All right, if you want to do the thing that I'll show you later, you don't stick that one on yet. All right, it'll become apparent. So we're not going to actually have the spinny cups, we're going to have the hanging cups. Okay, so we now need to take this with this. So just push all those little legs up, slide that over the top. We're going to bend these little edges over. We're going to put our adhesive around here, and then you're just going to slide him, be gentle, all the way down until it reaches the bottom. Tap, 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 until it's right down to the very bottom of there. Push all those little edges into place, like so. We're going to bend these out now. These glue tabs on the top are going to bend out, okay? Because at the moment, this would actually bend in. You see how that's saying hello there? Yeah, you don't want it to say hello. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these two dies. Let's get this one. You're going to take these two, and you're just going to cut one glue tab off at one side. And you're going to take its friend, and you're going to stick it over the top. Like so. Okay. You're going to bend now these edges. Let yours dry, yeah? You're going to bend those edges. Like that. You're going to then put your glue onto those ones. And this is what's going to firm up that centre pole, because you're going to take this and you're going to slide that down into the middle. Okay, and that's going to firm that centre pole up. These tabs here are to glue your roof on, so don't fold them over. That's what glues your roof on. Okay, so let's just bend these little tabs over onto here. Remember, if you're doing the hanging version, you're going to have your strings on this already. So with my strings, what I do is I actually put some high-tack tape on there, just to hold that string in. Let's bring this base. We're going to add the glue onto there, and this is going to come and sit onto the top of that one. So we're just going to hold that for just a minute. We're going to bring in now the other side panels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue all these now. So I literally use my glass mat at this stage. So I'm coming right into the peak, holding that in, getting that so it's level on my glass mat. Come on, work with me. Just hold that one a minute. Let's get the other one ready to go on. And this is what I'm saying, if your lines don't match up, then this literally is going to hide any imperfections that you've done. Okay, it's just a real cheats way of hiding something that you've not quite matched up. Okay, so just come on. It's because I'm not loving it enough.
You're not being kind.
I'm not being kind. So next one. Bring that one in. Let's get that one into there. Hold that. Just neatly there now. And of course, with all our projects, it's easier to decorate as you go along. It really is. Okay. Just think about which ones are actually there that are reinforcing dies and not just pretty. Yeah, so you're not actually decorating the wrong ones, but it literally is easier to decorate as you go. And it's easier to decorate when the roof's not on. Trust me, I made that mistake. I put the roof on and then thought, how on earth do I connect the swings? Yeah, me and Vicky were absolutely howling when I was trying to put the strings on. And that's why I say put your strings on now, so they're actually just hanging there. Yeah, just make life easy. Last one, which is going to go into here. That's come unstuck. Let's just bring you, because you're not quite, there we go, that's better. Now this one. That's going to hook under there. Bring you in. Like so. I'll just hold that for a minute. Now I've not done that quite tight enough going around there, but you will. It'll all meet, but mine's just not, it's not quite tight enough here, look. Yeah, but that's going to go all the way around there. So now let's stick that onto its base. Now remember, if you're going to do something that I want to show you later, you're not going to do this bit. But that then sits onto there. These little glue tabs here, you're going to put your glue onto there, and then you're going to take your roof and you're going to push your roof. This is where you need to get your head underneath it, which is not easy when you're on a high bar stool, I can tell you. Let me get my head underneath. Take my glasses off, because you need to go so that those glue tabs, each glue tab sits on one of those panels. Okay, so you're just going to hold that now until that actually dries. Okay, now once that is dry, please give it plenty of time to dry that bit, yeah, because you do think it's dry and then you come back, start titivating your swings and it's not dry. Give it all time to dry before you start to put your swings on. Okay, now you would go underneath and you would take those little brackets that you've got there and stick those to the roof as well. Okay, now once those are stuck to the roof, you will have your actual strings hanging down, you'll have your little hooks on your baskets, and then they hang on there as well. Okay, so once that is all done, you're going to end up with that beautiful carousel with baskets that hang, or twirling teacups. Okay, but later on in another video, if you go onto my Facebook page, I've made my whole thing turn. So I've made you a mechanism that's going to go inside there. So if you look underneath that one, you see how that one has got that on the underside of mine. It's actually closed off because I've made a mechanism to go on the underside to make it oh so more interesting. You know what I like? I like things that move. So there we go. So I can't wait to see what you make, what colours you do, how you make them, twirly ones. Maybe you could even do it with the rocking horse. You know the rocking horse die that we did? Do it like that and put the rocking horses on it. Yeah, so you could have your carousel with your rocking horses. Yeah, so many different things that you could be putting onto this. Yeah, so I shall see you later. Bye.